Coming up, one of the top 10 safeties in the nation from Michigan will soon bring home the bacon for a happy Power 5 program. One of Indiana's highest profile prospects from the class of 2022 has revealed where he will take his officials, and the Bearcats are continuing to slash the competition when it comes to Ohio in-state recruiting. That and a whole lot more on this week's State Champ Scout Show. Welcome back to the best weekly recruiting report in the Midwest. My name is Dylan Morello, and State Champ Scout Show is powered by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. No need to wait. Recruit yourself at l2athletics.com. 50 weeks a year, we have the scouting game covered in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. Our resident pro, Ryan Van Dyke, has some really good advice all athletes should hear. So let's get into it, and we begin in Michigan.
I'm Lauren Plant with the latest recruiting news from the state of Michigan. When 6'5" Malachi Davis helped lead the Holt Rams, a team picked to finish 7th in their conference, to a surprising district basketball title, it wasn't even the biggest news of his week. The Holt big man also committed to Syracuse University to play football, and he'll likely line up at a position, defensive line, where he's a relative newcomer. Davis slimmed down to 245 last season to play defensive end for the first time and wreaked havoc, playing every snap on both sides of the ball and finishing with 56 tackles, 23 for loss, and 4 forced fumbles, earning Dream Team honors from the MHS FCA as a junior. Syracuse offered Davis back in February, followed by a Vanderbilt bid in March. He's ranked as a 3-star prospect by 24/7 Sports and in the top 40 of the 2022 class in the state, and joins Woodhaven's Cornell Perry in Syracuse's 2022 class. The best safety in the Great Lakes region is going whole hog with his commitment. Belleville junior Miles Rouser gave his commitment to Arkansas on March 28th, picking the Razorbacks from among 27 offers. A starter since his freshman year for the Tigers, Rouser transferred to IMG Academy and was briefly committed to Michigan before transferring back last year and helping Belleville to another trip to the state semifinals with a season that included 61 tackles, 3 interceptions, 10 passes broken up, and 2 forced fumbles. Ranked as the number 9 safety in the nation by the 24/7 Sports Composite, a member of the ESPN Junior 300, and a 4-star prospect overall, Rouser instantly became the highest-ranked prospect in the 8-member 2022 class for head coach Sam Pittman. He's played primarily inside in the secondary for the Tigers, but can play anywhere in the secondary that he's needed. Despite his eye-popping statistical resume, record-setting Belleville quarterback Christian Dureed was always understated, letting his actions speak louder than his words. His commitment was almost the same way, with a simple little note on Twitter announcing that Michigan's all-time leader in touchdown passes was headed to one of the top historically black colleges and universities, Tuskegee University, to play football. Dureed was the only quarterback signed by head coach Willie Slater and the Golden Tigers in their 16-player 2021 class, and one of just 3 players from outside the Deep South. Ranked as a 2-star prospect by 24/7 Sports, the 5'10", 225-pound Dureed was a Mr. Football finalist after setting the state's career TD pass record. While the Midland Chemics have never been a boys basketball powerhouse, the upper end of the Saginaw Valley has been good to the Michigan Tech men's basketball program over the years, and might be yet again. The Huskies dropped an offer to Midland 6'4" junior Drew Berry just a day before he helped lead the Chemics to a buzzer-beating 44-42 win over Mount Pleasant in the district title game. And a large part of the success this year has been the do-it-all junior Berry, who went through 10 games averaging 19.7 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, and just over 2.5 assists, along with shooting 41% from three-point range and 44% from the floor. Cohen Entringer might be new to both football, American style, and Michigan, but he's a name you need to know. The 6'2", 195-pound junior played both ways for Ann Arbor Huron last fall at wideout and free safety, but it's been as a pass catcher that he's been opening eyes on the camp circuit, along with Huron teammate Tyler Bivens winning the MVP of the Pylon 7-on-7 in Indy recently. That's led to his first 2 Division I offers from Eastern Kentucky on March 25th and from Alabama A&M on March 29th. An Arizona native, Entringer won the 6A state championship there in 2020 before moving to Ann Arbor. That's the latest from Michigan. I'm Lauren Plant. If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
This is Alan True taking a look at the recruiting news happening in the state of Ohio. Cincinnati has had an impressive run of in-state recruiting of late. The latest Ohioan to join Luke Fickell's class is linebacker Jonathan Thompson, who comes from Columbus St. Francis de Sales, which happens to be Fickell's alma mater. Thompson had a huge junior year, making 72 tackles, 31 of those for loss, 8.5 sacks, 5 interceptions on defense, with 690 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on offense. All of that was good enough to earn him the Columbus Dispatch Metro Defensive Player of the Year honors. He now becomes one of the centerpieces of Fickell's defensive class. Trevor Carter is only a sophomore, but the Ironton athlete has already played 2 varsity seasons and helped his team reach the state title game in the fall. Carter has received some early offers as a freshman, but recently has been on a run since colleges have had a chance to view his sophomore film. Michigan, Kentucky, and Virginia Tech all offered in the month of March. An impact guy in every phase of the game, these schools like his potential to grow into a linebacker at the next level. Already 6'2" and over 200 pounds, Carter is a fine athlete at that size. He was an all-district selection as a sophomore. Rocky River's Tommy Beebe is a multi-talented athlete who has been productive on offense as a running back, but colleges like his future as a linebacker. The 6'1", 195-pound Beebe, who reports 4.6 speed in the 40-yard dash, was offered most recently by Purdue and East Carolina, adding to a list that already included West Virginia, Navy, Dartmouth, Army, Marshall, Western Michigan, Buffalo, and more. Beebe had 55 tackles, 12 for loss, and 2 interceptions on defense, while rushing for 529 yards and 9 touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball. Emmanuel Christian's Jaden Sims gave a commitment to Siena Heights University. A 6'2" combo guard, Sims not only has range but also bounce, which he showed in winning the District 7 All-Star Game dunk contest. He earned multiple postseason offers following an excellent senior season that also brought the offer from Siena Heights. That was his first scholarship offer. The Saints appear to be getting a steal who saved his best season for last. That's it for recruiting news this week. I'm Alan True.
Did you record an unbelievable touchdown, a game-winning goal, or just a proud parent moment? Then we want your clip. Upload your video to the brand new State Champs Network app so we can feature it on one of our shows and give your player, team, and school the recognition they deserve. All it takes is just a few easy clicks, and every clip that is submitted will automatically be eligible for prizes. Download the State Champs Network app today for iPhone and Android devices.
This is Scott Bernstein from Indiana. The Indy Warrior is heading to hoop it up in Hurricane Country. Malik Stanley will be playing his college basketball down in Florida at D2 Barry University. Stanley, who was a 4-year letter winner at Warren Central and won a state championship as a freshman with the Warriors in 2018, signed with Barry earlier this week. Warren Central went 18-7 in 2021, and Stanley pumped in 22 points per game. He became only the 3rd player in school history to join the 1,000-point club and ended his career in a Warriors uniform as the program's all-time winningest performer. Stanley's slick moves to the rack and silky soft jumper should make Barry B-ball fans very happy in the years to come. Staying in the Circle City, Indianapolis Park Tudor senior point guard Ronnie Johnson has committed to DePaul. Johnson averaged 16 points and 5 assists per night for Park Tudor and was one of the Indy area's hidden gems in the small school ranks out of the backcourt. Johnson's Park Tudor club finished the season with a 12-6 mark, falling in a 2A district final to Crawfordsville. In the offer department, Lawrence North Shake and Bake senior floor general Shamar A. Vance is seeing his recruiting stock pick up as his squad advances through the state tournament, and he scoops preseason honors. Indiana State, University of Missouri Kansas City, and Texas Southern just offered over the weekend. Avance was the Marion County Player of the Year this winter. Lawrence North will be gunning for a 4A state title on Saturday versus Carmel. During his breakout senior campaign, Avance has been Lawrence North's engine and their heart and soul, averaging 20 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals per outing. IUPUI, Miami of Ohio, and Tennessee Martin offered back in the summer. Transitioning to the Hoosierland football recruiting trail, Westfield junior defensive end Popeye Williams has 3 visits scheduled for the next month. The Westfield quarterback-eating monster will be on campus at Purdue, Nebraska, and Cincinnati in the coming weeks. Scouts consider Williams the #1 pass rush specialist in the state's class of 22. He collected 50 tackles and 5 sacks this past season and helped take his team on a trip to the state finals. Finally, the #1 sophomore prospect in the state on the gridiron, Andrian sophomore linebacker Drake Bowen, recently grabbed scholarship offers from both LSU and the University of Michigan. Checking in from Indiana, this is Scott Bernstein.
This is Ryan Van Dyke with State Champs Network. Today we're going to talk about how to fix a social media mistake, all right? Maybe you're 15, 16 years old and up until now you haven't really given a thought to playing sports and furthering your academic career, all right? So what happens to all those Instagram messages from the last 4 years that you've been hanging on to? Whoever's recruiting you is gonna dive through all that stuff, okay? So if you have anything that is potentially damaging to you or your school or your family, anything that's racy or sexist or too out there, those are things that you wanna get off your page. So delete those things. You know, we've all made mistakes. If you feel bad about what you've done and you don't think it's the right thing to do, then just delete the post and be done with it, all right? Number 2 is what happens when people start talking about what you've posted. All of a sudden you ranted after a game about, you know, how if coach would have gave you the ball more, maybe things would have turned out different, all right? You woke up the next morning, you felt bad about it, you deleted the post. However, the coach got wind that you were saying this stuff on social media, all right? It's always good to be upfront with it, okay? So I would reach out to the coach and I'd say, hey, here's what I did, and learn from it, and don't do it again. Social media has taken over as like our platform to air our frustrations and whatnot, but in the real world, that can have a damaging effect. And lastly is just learn from the post. You know, like I said, not everything that we do is perfect, and you just gotta press pause. You know, sometimes you just got to take that 15 minutes and say, hey, you know, do I really feel as strongly about this as possible, or sleep on it and wake up? And sometimes I think the best thing that you'll feel is that you didn't hit submit, or you didn't hit send, or you didn't hit post, right? Take the extra time and think about that before you post it. This is Ryan Van Dyke, State Champs Network.
You can catch up on any previous episode of The Scout Show by downloading the free State Champs Sports app, or go to our website or social media, of course. Did you know you can find more recruiting news from the State Champs Scout team by checking out our weekly blogs at statechampsnetwork.com. Blogs, rankings, news, it's all there, and no paywall. Totally free. I'm Dylan Morello, and know this, there are no spring breaks, there are no holidays, recruiting news never takes vacations, neither do we. We'll see you next week.
State Champs Scout Show is proudly presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare.